Hi there. My name is Leo, and I'm the founder of Building Public University. The goal behind Building Public University is simple. We have one mission. We believe it should be easy to make money online, and everything that we do follows in support of that. I designed Building Public University because I saw something specific happening online during the pandemic in 2020, 2021. There was a magical moment where people saw the possibility of building their way to freedom online. I did. I discovered the creator economy and I was blown away. And then I started following all of the incentives and realized that everybody was trying to adapt me into something that wasn't me so that I could make them money, not they could help me make my own money. And so, as I've been exploring this, I've wrapped up everything in the concept of a time war. And a time war is specific because your time is your own. Your time is the most valuable thing you have. Your time is where your energy goes. And the most important thing you can do for yourself is have an energy barrier around yourself to protect your time. This is what AI gives us the ability to do very, very cheaply and very efficiently if you understand what you're doing with it. And so, what I've been teaching my students how to do is use AI to set up a business structure for themselves that secures their place in the future based on what they want their lives to look like. And I realized something about my own life. There are three things that I love doing. I love writing, I love building, and I love teaching. So with Building Public University, I designed a life that allows me to do all three of those things. I have Hitchhiker's Guide to the Future, Substack, which is my newsletter where every day I'm just capturing what I'm building that day. It's a daily build log and it is $42 a month. And the goal here is actually to turn this into a platform, a network intelligence that rewards people's curiosity. So the plan is right now I am building out this platform for the entrepreneurs that I'm coaching that I know. We've got some really cool things in the pipeline related to understanding how language changes and evolves over time, and one with focused on kind of ESPN for youth sports. And then we've got another one that is startup principles applied to families to help them understand how to work together to collectively solve problems. So we've got a bunch of really cool projects in the pipeline and a bunch of others behind those. Those are just the first few that we're going to be looking at. And I'm going to be writing my observations about why I think these startups are particularly well positioned because I know the founders, I know their stories. And one of the things that I ask my students to do first, and I'm starting to collect these videos, it's hard to get started online because there's so many possible things you can do. So where do you get started when building a business? The most important thing your business needs is a focus on problems, an obsession with a specific type of problem. Once you have your focus on the problem, that's what you talk about. Everything else is related to your obsession with the problem you are solving. Solutions come and go. The problem sticks around until it's actually solved. So you want to keep trying solutions while you're focused on the problem. So you start by talking about the problem. So I asked my students to do one thing first. Give me a 5-minute video telling me about all the problems that you see in the world that you're focused on. For example, my buddy who's doing ESPN for youth sports, he's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about in this video. And the funny thing is, he's built up a TikTok following of over 40,000 in the past. He's had some fun with it. He's actually very good on video. But when I ask him for a video, it's hard for him to create. So I was like, you know what? Just bitch about all the problems in sports, but you have to keep it to 5 minutes. So it's now a constraint because he can bitch about sports for hours, all the problems in sports and how everything we've done has ruined youth sports. This is the passion that he's got, right? And when you talk to him about the problems in sports, you see an understanding based on years and years and years of observations of very, very deep patterns. When you talk about the problems you see in the world, your expertise shines through. So spend 5 minutes, talk about the problems you see in the world, and just focus on that. Don't actually talk about solutions. Start by focusing on seeing problems. If you can't start by seeing problems, you're never going to be able to start solving problems. So with Building Public University, I want you to start seeing problems. The other half of it is sales. Sales is terrifying. Sales has been this incredibly weird blocker in my head for so long because I didn't quite get it. And I didn't quite get it until I ended up on the idea that time is, in fact, money. I was trying to argue that it was not for a very long time because my research was taking me in weird ways that said maybe time wasn't actually money. Time was just, or money was just information. Yes, but it all turns out that time is, in fact, money because of how humans interact with it. And once I realized this very, very simple thing, I realized that I need to protect my own time. And so this comes with sales. Now, sales is something that is hard until you start doing it over and over again, and then it becomes easy, just like everything else. So as I was designing my business structure, I knew I needed to get better at sales. And so what I've been doing is focusing on how can I maximize the number of opportunities I have to sell. So I'm using my Twitter timeline. I'm constantly selling things. I'm practicing just everything I can. I'm selling, 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 selling. The rule number one of building a business online, if you can't sell, you die. You need to be able to get money into the business. Figure out your sales, get comfortable with it, and understand that your time is valuable. Now, the key is figuring out how you can find somebody to work with who understands that your time is valuable as well, and they want you to spend your valuable time doing valuable things to solve valuable problems. Again, this goes back to talk about the problems that you see in the world and understand deeply. This comes through when you're talking about the problems. When I see you talking about the problems you see in the world, I can do a very quick analysis and understand how deeply you're looking at the problem. Because when you start developing an understanding of complex systems, you see levels of the understanding of the complexity involved. I've done hundreds of interviews at this point for software engineers. And a lot of what we're doing in those interviews is assessing your ability to take a complex problem, break it down into solvable steps, communicate what you're doing, ask for clarifications on, unclear requirements, things like that, because reality is messy. Software is designed to be clean. And so the people on the edge, the people in the economy, their job is to communicate the complexity of reality into something that computers can handle. AI can handle a lot of things, but AI cannot handle seeing all of the problems in the world and deciding that something needs fixed that isn't being fixed. That is the job of the entrepreneur. That is what Building Public University is going to teach you: to find and attack. See the problem, attack the problem, bring people around the problem, communicate, find the solution, deploy it, get rich, be generous, make the world a better place. That's the Building Public University loop. And I think this is enough for an introduction video, but I want to open it up to feedback. What worked well? What didn't? I'm always happy to re-record this in the future with a better version, because everything in life is iteration. You do it until you're good at it. You do it until you win. You do it until you're rich, and you do it until you're able to make the world a better place in your image. That's it for today. Happy building. Go make that money. Get paid. Have fun. Love life. Be happy. Go out and make something beautiful in public.